Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I received your first pages,
Draft. Yeah.
your draft of your book, yeah, and I think it's very good. Yes,
I
just
just
like
simply
I'm
write it,
reading
but
a
I don't think
real
it's
book.
good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yes, it is,
Oh
and
God,
it's
I'm so
it's
worried
easy
because
to understand. Mm.
yeah, I'm so worried because you know I'm not a writer by profession, so I think um, I'm a bit nervous because I don't know how to write a book.
No, you just write down what you have experienced and
Yeah.
show your experience. Yes, and that's enough, I think.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just like I am reading uh, a
A book.
published book, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real book. Yeah, so you can continue.
Okay. Yeah, I will
Yes.
continue. And
Mm,
I add chapters to it, but I don't know yet how to put the bits on the left hand side. Like, like you read a book, the contents, first
mhm,
chapter, Chengdu, and then you want to break it down into
mhm,
where you went or visit to the
mhm.
museum. That should go on the left, but I don't know how to put it in the word. So,
You mean the title for
yeah,
every chapter
the
or?
subtitles, not subtitles,
Mhm,
but the divisions for the chapter, like visit to
mhm,
Chengdu. Then you got to break it up to staying with
mhm.
them.
Mhm,
How to put it on the left hand side so that, like when you read the chapter one, and
mhm,
then you got
mhm,
various divisions like
mhm,
visit to the market, visit to the
mhm.
museum. All those little
Yes.
divisions. I don't know how to put it to the left hand side of the page. I have to look it up.
No, it's just like I don't know how to say that. It's you mean you divide each chapter into several
Yeah, yeah, into
parts,
headings.
and and for each part you will have a title or subtitle.
Yeah.
That's
And
easy. Mm,
how?
just just like you are
What I'm
uh,
doing?
typing you're typing the title, but, but you mean not putting it in the center, but putting it on the
On the left
left
hand
of the
side.
paper.
Yeah.
Left hand, yeah. It's just like you are typing uh, the first sentence.
Mm.
You just how say that? You should change the format for that
Oh,
line.
yeah.
Uh, you get it in bold or
Yeah.
in other color or in
Yeah.
other fonts. Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with the word apart
Mm,
from just a normal letter because I don't usually use it to format
mm,
whatever,
I,
a script.
I understand. I understand. Yeah,
Mm.
you don't have to worry about that, but because that's very easy and very
Okay.
don't take it will not take
Long.
you much time to do it. Yeah,
Okay. I
if
just
you
write the
don't know
I'll
how,
just write the story
mm,
and see how it goes.
mm, you
Because
read the
like
story and
you read the whole
mm,
thing.
that can help you
You're okay
to
to do it
how
later.
say that to
Mm.
yeah, do it later to
Mm.
put it in the right how say that
Yeah.
the form or
Yeah. And so
mm,
far, what you've read, is it easy to translate, do you think?
yes it's easy to understand because only I think a few words that I'm not
Mm.
familiar with.
Yeah.
And I think I should read uh, more of this kind of materials or books
Yeah.
because I used to read some books written by very professional writers or
Yeah.
by the writers far which is in the like decades ago, hundreds ago.
Yeah.
Their works are very hard to understand
Yeah.
because you will come across many
Yeah.
words
Difficult
that
words.
you do
Mm.
not. Yes, so I think that's good.
Mine is so simple. It's like just everyday language. Nothing,
Yes,
nothing, nothing fanciful. Just very, very simple. I
but
just hope
but
that it'll be
mm,
okay. I don't
mhm.
know.
but that's not that. But as you said, it's just daily language. But that as a Chinese, I don't think it's too simple, too easy
Mm,
that everybody will understand. It's still very difficult for some, I think for most of the English
yeah,
learners. Mm.
yeah. I
I mean,
didn't want to
especially for
say,
some.
I didn't
Mm-hmm,
want to say some bad things about it, negative
mm-hmm,
things like the child was so
mm-hmm,
naughty, So
mm-hmm.
I didn't want to
You
bring
can
it up.
actually, you
You think I
can,
should?
you
I
can
mean,
just write
later on,
what you have
I can,
seen.
yeah, what I've seen, because later on, this little girl is so close to me, and 2 years later, 3 years later, we are there's a bond there. Maybe because when
Mm,
she was 2 years old, she got to know me, and you know,
mm.
the couple of years later when I visited, and even the last year I visited, she was so close to me, so it was really
Yeah,
nice.
but there is no connection with your relationship with the little girl and your how's it that your objective
Observation, yeah.
objective uh, values or
Mm,
your perspective, yeah, to her. Yeah, right is right and wrong is wrong. You can point
I
out
can
what
just put it out, yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
put it out
like
what
she'll cry and all that, but all
mm,
children cry, so it's
yes,
nothing
it's very normal.
uncommon.
Yeah,
Mm,
everybody is not perfect. Yeah,
yeah,
so it's very
it's not
common that
easy to bring up a child the first
everyone
time.
will yes
Yeah.
will make some mistakes in their
Mm,
young age. Yeah, it's very actually, as far as I'm concerned, that's more how's it that real or
mm,
more like in the real life
yeah. I will
because
go in and put in those bits as well, because, like I
mm,
say, I just wrote what I felt at that
mm,
time. Like last night, I took the whole evening before I went to bed. I
mm,
just started writing,
mm,
so I can go back and
mm,
change it and add those little bits about the little girl, and then
mm,
like this guy, the judge, he's really really nice, and now and again he sends me a message when I put a posting on WeChat, but
mm,
I felt very disappointed that I could and frustrated that I could not communicate with him because his English was so
why
poor. But
oh
he was so nice. Like, Sissy was worried that who is he, asking me out. Is it dangerous to go out with him? And she started
mm,
to call him, but she didn't
mm,
dare say it. Like, I would like to come along. So she just
mm,
dropped me there, and then she just came along. And
mm,
after the dinner was so delicious. She just said to me in
mm,
English, I don't think he understood. She just said,
mm,
I don't think we should let him pay. We will pay.
mm,
And then we asked him, and he refuses. And that's why he said, I
mm,
want you to taste some Chengdu hospitality. And then he was
mm,
so generous and such a nice man. That's why
mm,
a few days later he wanted to take me somewhere, but he told
mm,
my friend that you just drop her at the um, metro and tell her how to
mm,
take it to whichever station. I can't remember what it was, and
mm,
then I will meet her there. So I went there,
mm,
and he met me outside, and he took me to this dam. It's a very famous
mm,
dam in that area, because they built the
mm,
dam to prevent it flooding. And then after the
mm,
dam, we walked around. I don't even
mm,
know the name. And then he took me to the temple to have
mm.
lunch, and simple
Yes.
lunch. And then after that, he thought, okay, gather up the lunch. And then the woman came and said, you have to do washing up. So he
Mm,
said, okay, you sit here. I'll go and do the washing up. So you got to wash up
mm,
your own place. So he washed up,
mm,
and then he
mm,
said, okay, we go up to the top of the temple. But halfway up,
mm,
I said, I had enough. I can't climb anymore. So
mm,
I said, if you want, you can carry on climbing, and I will stop here and wait for you. But I
mm,
can't remember whether he climbed up to the top. But
mm,
after that, he took me back to the to the station. But on the way back, I wanted so much to talk to him, but I didn't
mm.
know how to say it in English when I knew he could not understand. And that was the
But
last time I saw
mm,
him.
if he does know any English,
English. Yeah.
how did you
But
know
you see,
him?
before I went to Chengdu, I used to talk to him through messages, and obviously he used the translation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we talked a lot
Mm.
because he used to say, I'm at work, this, that, and the other. Now he's retired, but at that time he was still at
Oh,
work. He said,
how old
my,
is he?
I think he's in his, I'm 70, so he must be about 60 because now he's retired.
Oh,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
In China, actually, for men, the age for men to be
retire.
retired is about 60, 60 or 65. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
so
don't
I
remember.
think only
Mm.
a couple of or so years ago he retired.
Mm.
And as I say, his offices, the courthouse is just in front of that restaurant, and the restaurant is very nice.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
So there's no that's very uh how's it mm, mm, because he's very old, so it's very normal that he doesn't know any
yeah,
English.
can't speak English.
Mm.
I don't know
Mm.
since then whether he's learned it because I noticed
Mm.
he had a group
I don't think
with
so
Westerners.
because he's too old to learn the
So
language.
funny. Yeah.
Mm.
But as I say, before I went, Sissy was very concerned and, she wanted to make sure that I was going to be all right. But as it turns out,
Mm.
he was fine. No problem whatsoever.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's a good experience, to have found somebody like that. And during
Mm.
that short trip,
Mm.
I managed to fill the weeks,
Mm.
with all the experiences. Like that was the first time I went to Chengdu, and the
Mm.
second and third time were not so eventful in the sense that the second time and the third time they had already had the baby, so they had the
Mm.
second baby, second child.
Mm.
So
Mm.
she didn't really have time to take me around, but
Mm.
it was more like a family holiday because
Mm.
they wanted to see me. So I just did
Mm.
what they did. Like we can go with the family to go to the park or to some event. So I
Mm.
just joined in whatever they did. And the third
Mm.
time, the father was there. So the father
Mm.
came during the day because the father came over from Suzhou to help look after the kids. So,
Mm.
but they have another house in
Did he,
Chengdu.
did her father live with them?
Yeah, normally the father would live with them, but the mother would
Oh.
not live with them because Kobe, the husband, refused to have her
Mm.
in the house because
Oh.
he can't get on with her. So he said to her, she can't come to our house. So she doesn't come. Besides, the mother, according to Cici, the mother
Mm.
always complains. She's forever
Mm.
complaining. So she just
Mm.
stays in Suzhou, and Cici would go over to see her now and then. But the father is
Mm.
fine. Kobe doesn't mind the father because the father is very
Mm.
easygoing. He comes over,
Mm.
he helps to do the washing, the ironing, no ironing, the washing and the cooking. And he looks after the
Mm.
little girl, the baby,
Mm. Mm.
very, very close to the younger child.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And during the
Mm.
weekday, Kobe works in the hospital and
Mm.
he's got a flat, one room flat near the hospital.
Mm.
So he doesn't come home
Did he
during the
rent the
weekday.
house, the
He
apartment,
bought it.
or
He bought
bought?
it.
Oh,
Mm. So
he's
he
very
bought the
rich.
place. Yeah, he's
Mm.
done very well. She herself told me he's done very well with the plastic surgery, and
Mm.
and yet if you talk to him, he's so normal and down to earth. You wouldn't think that he's not at all boastful or act as if he's done so
Mm.
well. He's just a normal
Mm.
person. The third
Yeah.
time that I was going down to um, at the bottom of their apartment, there are some shops. So
Mm.
I needed to go to the shops. I don't know what it was to buy. So Cici was
Mm.
up in the apartment, and
Mm.
by then I knew how to go to the shops and how to get back to her apartment. And so I was
Mm.
there and I was walking back, and suddenly I saw him, and he wasn't
Mhm.
going to come. But he said,
Mm.
even though he was working that evening, he came over just to see me because he
Mm.
felt, I come all the way to see them. So he came and he
Mm.
stayed the night. Really, really
Mm.
nice man. And the
Yes.
second time when I went, my knee was painful. And
Mm.
he told Cece, he said, go and take her to the hospital. So that was just before the October national holiday. So Sissy took me to the hospital, had the X-ray done, and then the doctor who attended to me could not speak a word of English, but fortunately, Sissy was with me. So I had a lot of experience. And then the third time, again, my knees were painful. So Kobe said, take her to the hospital. So she took me to the hospital, and then it wasn't so much the knee because I had problem. I wasn't sure whether, because that journey I had problem with like my head, I felt something was wrong. And during that journey in Lanzhou, in Xi'an, I wasn't well. So anyway, by the time I reached Xi'an, she took me to the hospital for my knee as well. So we had a few tests done, and then we went up to the TCM department, and we had some acupuncture. And the girls there were so nice. And she said, oh, I mentioned I had headache. So she said, do you want me to do the acupuncture to your head? And so she did. She didn't charge me, but they were all so nice. So I had such a wonderful experience. Yeah, really, really nice.
So, so how many parts are you planning to write
I'm
the
just
first chapter?
going to. The first chapter is nearly finished. Like I'll add a few bits to it, and then that's finished. I will say that's the end
So
of
what's
my
the name
stay.
for the first chapter?
Chengdu.
Chengdu. Oh,
Yeah, I'll
so
go according to the names of the places. Like basically, it's three main places: Chengdu, Yangshuo, and Xi'an. So those are the three places. And
but
in fact,
how do you name your second or third trip to Chengdu?
second
Because you
trip,
have
I wouldn't say
already.
Chengdu. I would say second trip to China. So I would then go according to the places, just like Chengdu and whatever. But I would say my first stop, the second trip was in April. Was that in April? No.
Second. So
The second trip
when
was
was
when
it?
I met you. So,
In 2018, I think.
yeah. So I must look back on the timing because I met you, I went to Hangzhou, but I don't think I went to Linyi. I think I went to Linyi only on my third trip, all in 1 year. Yeah. Oh, I know. Second trip, I went to, now I recall. Second trip, I met you. I went to Hangzhou, Suzhou. After Suzhou, I went to Wuhan, and I stayed with that family for a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And after Wuhan, I got ready to take the train to Yichang. And from Yichang, I caught the boat on the Yangtze River. That was the highlight of my trip, was that cruise on the Yangtze River. So by the time I finished 5 nights on the Yangtze River, I arrived in Chongqing, and I got a taxi ready, and he took me to the station, and I took a train all the way to Chengdu, and I stopped with them. Yeah, that's it.
See.
That was the second trip.
I remember you've been to Beijing or Tianjin. Where was
Hey,
that?
yeah. So that was the second trip. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Now, the
so
second trip, I must have gone to Beijing and then came down again, because the third
because
trip, I did not go to Beijing. Only went to, yeah, that's strange.
so for your
Third
first,
trip.
for your second trip, you arrived in China. The first place you arrived in China is Beijing. Is that
No,
right?
no, so strange. 2018, 2009. So let me go back, because that girl who did the course, she has just finished it this year. So she went in last September. So I must have gone to Beijing last September as well. It's very strange. I must go back and look at my photos, and that will give me an idea.
So where did you arrive when for the second
I arrived in
trip?
second trip. I arrived in in Shanghai.
So really?
Yeah. Mm. The
No,
thing
I
is,
don't think you
no,
arrived
no.
in Shanghai
I
because
arrived
I
straight to
met you in
Beijing.
Hangzhou. Yeah.
So yeah.
Otherwise, I would
Now
met you
I
in
arrived.
Shanghai.
Yeah, I arrived. Third trip I arrived in Shanghai. Second trip I flew to Beijing, and the girl met me in Beijing. And then we had booked an apartment from a lady in um, one of the areas, and it was in Beijing that we stayed a few days, maybe a week at least. But I can go back and look at the history. So we stayed in Beijing, and that was when I met another person, a student, who came with us on the trip, in the sense that he met us during the day and showed us around the sites we wanted to see, because he said he was free. He was going to go to America a month or so later to do a 1 year course, a visiting scholar. So he had the time, and he was so nice because all those famous landmarks in Beijing, like a lot of museums, he would go with me and with the other girl as well. But he would stick to me, next to me, and he would explain all the history behind it. Like you have all the bits written in Chinese. He would read it out and he would explain. So, and then not only that, like what is it, Temple of Heaven or whatever that name is. It was so hot, and then he would keep buying
Yes.
me ice cream because I was so
Oh.
hot. Yeah, he was so nice. And then halfway walking around those places, then my knees were not so bad. But even then, he used to say, "Would you like a break? Take a seat." He was so attentive. So I sat down, and then we talked. And then the student, she would just wander around by herself and meet us. But he was just so kind. And then other days we would want to go to Tiananmen Square, and he met us. The first day he would meet us and treated us to the Beijing duck. And then the next few days he would just accompany us to all these places. And on the last day, when I was about to take the train down to where is it? To Shanghai. I think I came down to Shanghai. So
No, I don't
he
think so.
but I did take a train,
You
a long train ride.
yeah,
He
because I think I think you must take the train all the way to Hangzhou directly
Oh,
because
maybe. Yeah.
if you went to Shanghai, I would meet you in Shanghai first,
Right?
and then
Yeah.
we'd come to we'd go to Hangzhou
Yeah.
together.
So
Yeah,
I took the
but
train to Shanghai. Yeah. And Beijing, it's impossible to take a taxi to the railway station because it's all underground. So he said we will take the subway. And then because I have a heavy bag, during the long trip, he said, I will come with you. So he came in the morning, met us, and carried my suitcase and went with us all the way, changing lines, and then, you know, um, took us to the station. And this girl, she didn't go at the same time. She had to go back to Guangzhou. So she stayed on for maybe another night at that place. And then she left the next day and went off herself. But it was easy for her because she knows how to go get around.
yes,
But he was so kind. He made sure that, I got on the train and all that. Just really nice guy. But just a young man. Yeah, very, very nice.
So how long did it take you to um go to Hangzhou from Beijing?
5.5 hours
Oh,
on the
I
train,
see.
on
Oh,
the high-speed train.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I see. Mm.
So I went to Hangzhou.
Yes, and then I met you in Hangzhou.
Yeah. God. Yeah, I still remember that. And the next day you came to Hangzhou. Because the first day when I stopped at Hangzhou at that little hotel, I walked out and I went on um, those flyovers, and I went and saw, I think it was a McDonald's, and I went in to have some supper because I didn't know what to say when I go into a Chinese restaurant. So I was quite grateful that you arrived that next day, and then, I don't need to worry about ordering my food. Yeah.
Yes. And then
Yeah,
you went to Suzhou
yeah, I
after.
went to Suzhou, and
Mm,
fortunately, I knew a contact, and he's not exactly my students. Some of these, they are not real students, they just contacted you, talk to you a bit, and he
mm,
contacted me and said, I'm in Suzhou, I'm in the hospital, I can take you around in the evening. So he
mm,
came to my hotel and picked me up, went by taxi. Actually, you needn't go by taxi, you can go by underground, but because I was so hopeless, he had to pay for taxi to take me. So took us to
mm,
the city center, and then walked
mm,
around and treated me to dinner. And then the next day he
mm,
said, I'm free in the morning, I'll take you to lunch. So he took me to
mm,
lunch, and then after that
mm,
he showed me how to go on the underground, on the metro, to
mm,
go on my own to the water town. So I went on my own.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, it was quite an experience.
And after Suzhou, where did you go?
After Suzhou, I went to Wuhan.
Oh,
Yeah,
also by train
yeah.
or by flight?
And I went, oh, you left and I went to Wuhan. Oh, when I went to Suzhou,
No,
you're already gone,
I left
yeah,
you. Yes,
in
yes.
Hangzhou.
I left you in
And I went to,
Hangzhou. Yes.
yeah, yeah, because when you left me and then I reached Suzhou, and then fortunately I found somebody who could speak English. So I asked him to order a taxi for me to take me to the hotel.
Mm,
And then the hotel was very, very nice. I stayed there a few days, and
mm,
I saw those lovely architecture buildings by that famous
mm.
architect, the Chinese architect who died, several months ago.
Yeah, yeah. It's is is he called Bei Lumin? He's a very
Yeah,
famous
very, very
architect.
famous.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. He
drawn
designed the.
buildings,
Mm,
designed so many buildings all around the world, like in
yeah,
France and all that.
yeah. France.
And
Yeah, yeah. It's called
and
the
at that,
the palace. What palace?
yeah, but at that time I didn't know who he was until
Mm,
after his death. And then I'm glad then that I had been to see the gardens and the building, because he is really fantastic as an architect. You know,
yeah.
so
His
rare.
hometown is
It's
Suzhou,
Suzhou.
so
Yeah,
yeah, he designed all the architectures in the
yeah,
Suzhou Museum. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it is Suzhou Museum.
Museum and gardens. A really lovely
Mm,
building.
mm,
Yeah, I'm glad I went there. I would love to go back and see it because it's nice to see his architecture. It's really
mm,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah. And of course, Sissy comes from Suzhou, but she never invites me to Suzhou because I think, her mother is such a problem. So it's just as
Oh,
well I went to Suzhou on my own.
so did you meet in Suzhou?
No, no, never. I travel
Mm,
on my own in Suzhou and that's it. And then
mm,
of course I went to Wuhan and stayed
mm.
for a couple of
By
weeks, and
train?
then yeah, by train. And when I
Mm,
left Wuhan to go to Yichang, I was stuck at the railway
mm,
station because I didn't know your system of railways. So
mm,
I had to take a picture of the board at the top, and I said to this guy, and I said,
mm,
"How long do I have to wait? Because
mm,
people are seated in here, and I don't know when to go through the barrier." So he said, "Oh,
mm,
it's not long. You just have to wait another 15 minutes." So he said, "You just
mm,
have to wait, and when people go through, you go along." So when I go
mm,
along, and the girl at the barrier, she read it and said, "Okay, you can go. You can
mm,
go through." And then
mm,
your trains are so different because when you go down to the platform, you've got to
mm.
find the number of your carriage and
Yeah, your couch and your seat. Yeah.
in your seat. Whereas in England,
Mm,
we need not necessarily have seats allocated. It's up to you.
mm,
And if we don't have seats allocated, we can just go
mm,
in and find an empty seat and sit there. Whereas with this one, you in
mm,
China, you have your seat
mm.
allocated and you've got to go in and find it.
Yes.
But for a foreigner,
Yes.
how to find the
Mm,
right carriage? So it is very, very difficult. There's so many
mm,
people rushing about. You're trying to get help from somebody. And fortunately,
mm,
usually the the girl guard,
mm,
you can ask her and she helps. Because
mm,
otherwise you're really stuck because you don't know which carriage, and the train leaves in 2 minutes, that sort of thing. So it's like
mm.
panicking away.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have
So
that
for a
experience.
foreigner, it's
Yeah.
no fun because you don't know where you're
Mm,
going. You don't know whether you're on the right train, right platform, right carriage, and all that sort of thing.
mm,
Yeah.
yes.
And then once you're on the train, you don't know how many stops before you stop. So it is very
Mm.
difficult. Yeah.
Was there any English broadcasting on the train?
No, there were only the lettering at the top there when the lights come on, um, when they tell you
I, mm,
the
I remember
messages. I think
for
some of
all the
them they tell
high-speed
you.
trains,
Yeah. But you
for all
see,
the high-speed
when
trains, you have the English
yeah,
broadcasting.
when
Yeah.
I went from uh Ha- Suzhou to Wuhan, I found that I got onto the wrong platform.
Mm,
No, I found that I went to the wrong instead of east or west, I went to the wrong one. So obviously I had to go and change my ticket
mm.
because I think it's in Suzhou, you got east and west. I don't know which one it was, but you have east and west, and
Oh,
I
I
went to
see.
the wrong station.
Oh, I understand.
So
I understand.
it's
Mm,
so difficult. It's like, you go to the barrier and they speak in Chinese and they tell you it's
mm,
wrong and you don't know what they're saying. And then at last
mm.
somebody says it's wrong. You go and change your ticket. So I have to go back to the station, change the ticket,
Yeah.
and then
Mm,
fortunately, I can still change my ticket and leave from that station instead of going to the other station.
mm.
Yeah. So that is the
Yeah,
big
I
problem
understand.
when
Yeah.
you are stuck. You have to know
Yeah,
where.
because now this, yeah, in many, I think in almost every city there are at least two train stations. So you should
Yeah, east and west
really
and all that.
make, yeah, make clear, yeah, which one is, yeah, is the one you
I
will
think maybe it was Hangzhou and
go.
East and West. I'm not sure. It's one of them anyways, either
Mm.
Hangzhou or Suzhou. And I went to the wrong one.
Because because every city has a new train station which is for
Mm,
the high-speed train, and
yeah. Yeah,
there's
because I
a
was
old one. Mm,
on the high speed.
s- mm. So actually there
Yeah.
are two train stations for almost every city.
And then when I went to Chengdu, it's the second and third time. Even the third time, when I went to Chengdu, I was stuck. You come out of the station, there's so many exits, and you look for the sign that says English,
Yeah,
and then it's like
yeah.
east and west and whatnot. And I had to call my friend, and she said, you come here, blah blah blah. And then I went out, and I couldn't find her. And then there was
Mm,
one girl with her mother,
mm,
and she helped me. She tried to walk because the when you walk outside, it's so big. So she
mm.
walked
Yes,
me
yes.
to an area, and then I said, "No, you don't have to walk with me anymore." I called my friend, and I'll wait
Mm,
here. So I called my friend,
mm,
and then she asked me, "You have to go back down there and look for whatever." So I had to go down again, and then look for the place, and then eventually she came and found me. But it's very,
mm.
very complicated.
Yes, especially in the big cities,
Yeah,
the new build train stations very very big and
yeah,
have as many exits and
yeah.
gates. So
It's very, very
most of the
difficult
time, yeah,
unless you've been a
yeah.
few times. And and when you cannot speak the language, you can't really stop and ask people,
Mm,
where do I go and this and that. I think the
mm,
traveling those by train was the worst experience I had. Traveling by air
mhm,
is fine because all you do is go to the airport, check in, and you just
mm.
wait for the plane.
Yes.
So I much prefer that. Whereas going by train, I found so many impediments that I had to overcome.
Mm,
So it's like you're so stressed out, and then you're rushing
mm,
about with your suitcase. Oh, it was terrible. And then,
mm,
of course, I had to go back to Chengdu to see them because I promised. So even though it was
mm,
only for a few nights, and then it's coming up to
mm,
it was coming up to the national holidays. And the
mm,
last couple of days, I went over to Guangzhou. I took the flight to Guangzhou. And
mm,
Guangzhou, fortunately, that girl, the student, she came and met me and took me on the metro and went
mm,
over to her parents' house. So it was
mm,
nice,
mm.
quite an
And
experience.
after Guangzhou, you went back to
Yeah, I
You
came
go.
back. That was last year.
Mm,
Last year I
mm,
went to Guangzhou, and I came back in September. No, 1st of October.
mm.
And then,
So
of course,
that's
I
the second.
took another trip. No, that's the third. That's the third trip. Because I did 3 trips in a year last year.
Oh,
In April, I went to Linyi, and in end of August
mm,
and September, that's when I went round the few places, and then I came back on the 1st of October.
mm.
And then in December, I took 10 days and went to Linyi.
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So it was really nice. I enjoyed that trip so much because even though Linyi is a small place, but it was filled with
How long
experiences.
did you live there? Live in Linyi?
Only 10 nights.
10. Mm.
Yeah, 10 nights. This last trip in December. Yes, when it
Is
was
it a
happening.
coastal city?
No, no, it's inland.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I think it's in Shandong province, and Shandong
Yeah, it's in
is a
Shandong
coastal
province. Yeah.
province. Yeah,
No.
and it's not far away from Qingdao, as far as I know.
Yeah, you can
Qingdao
get to
City.
Jingzhou,
Yeah.
yeah, but I've never
Mm,
been there. Very nice place.
mm,
It's funny because when I went on the Yangtze River last year
mm,
in September, I met one lady who couldn't speak English, but she was so
mm,
warm, and she and I sort of talked to each other instantly. We smiled, and you know, and and then she told me she came from Jingdao. Very, very nice. And her
mm.
daughter studies in Australia. She and her husband
Oh, I
went on
see.
the trip on the Yangtze River. So often I
Oh,
happen to sit in front of them, at the same table.
mm,
Other times
mm,
I just sat on my own. But the good thing about this Yangtze River trip is that you can sit on your own and nobody worries. You don't have to worry about if anybody is staring at you because
mm,
the people serving you, they're all so hospitable and so nice. They'll just come up and help you. Would you like this? Would
mm.
you like that? It's really, really nice.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
one of the boys I met on the first Yangtze River trip, he was also on this second trip. And I said,
Mm,
"Oh, I wanted some mango, but it's all gone." So I went
mm,
back to my room, and then there was a
mm,
knock on the door, and he came in with a whole plate full of mango.
mm.
Just so nice. I
Yeah.
really loved it
So how much does it cost you for the
for the trip.
uh,
For the cruise,
cruise trip in Yangtze River?
it's £1,000.
£1,000.
Yeah,
A
it's
thousand
much
pounds.
cheaper if you are from China. But if you are a foreigner,
Oh,
you have to pay more.
oh, a
Yeah,
thousand pounds. I think is big
expensive.
sum of money. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's huge.
expensive.
But it's just the highlight of my trip. I really wanted to go there so much. And this last time, I went from Nanjing all the way to Chongqing. So it's
Mm,
9 nights, I think.
mm.
Yeah,
So how much is
and
that? How much was that?
I think that was maybe over 1,000. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
but it's like
you
so
know,
luxurious.
yes, yes, because for most of us, we were not considered to have
To
a
go. But there's
cruise
so many
ship.
Chinese.
Yeah,
90, 99% are Chinese.
yes, but only, but there are not so many, cruise,
Yeah,
on the Yangtze River. Although almost all the people are Chinese, but if you consider all the travelers, all the tourists in China, that uh, number is not so big.
yeah. And
That
a lot of people, there some are older people, not old people, but maybe in their 50s and 60s. They
mm,
come on the trip because maybe they saved up and they wanted to go on the Yangtze River, and they
mm.
enjoy it so much.
How's the living condition on the ship? Is
It's
that
really, really
like
nice. You
it's just like a
normally,
hotel?
yeah, just like a hotel.
Mm,
Normally, like a train, you have a compartment,
mm,
but normally, you
yes,
would
but
share a
but
room.
train, yeah,
Trains are
but the
smaller.
bed, oh, yeah,
This
it's
is like
very
a
very.
hotel. This
Mm,
just like a hotel, like my hotel in Linyi. But normally you would have to share a room because if you don't share a room, you have to pay double. But the first time I went there, I was so lucky. They gave me a room to myself. And this
How
third
big
time,
it was it?
it's a double room. But
Double
I just
room?
have the two beds to myself.
Like, oh,
Yeah. And the third
is there
time,
was there a toilet
yeah,
in
toilet
that room?
attached to the bedroom. So it
Oh,
was so
that's good.
luxurious. And
Mm,
the second time I went, I knew one guy from the first trip, and he recommended me to his friend who is in the
mm,
reception. And she told me
mm.
to wait till the end, and she gave me a double room to myself.
Oh,
Yeah, so lucky.
yes.
I can't
And
believe it.
for the
No,
second
se-
cruise ship,
yeah, second trip I got a double room
you shared.
because, huh? No, I didn't share.
Did you
I had a
share?
double room. No,
Oh,
no. Two trips. Both times I had a
mm,
double room to
oh,
myself.
that's
So it's really,
you don't
really
have to
nice
share.
because
Yeah.
no, you just go into your room whenever you feel like it. You can relax and you can
Yes.
sit there and just look out on the river, and it's so beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
I just
every
loved it
room
so much.
has a window,
Yeah, in this
so that you can have.
in their ships, all the rooms have windows that looks out
Oh,
to the
that's
yeah
very
that looks
nice.
out
Yeah.
to the sea. So it's so nice.
Mm, mm.
And then you pay
So,
extra to go on the VIP dining. So you pay extra.
mm,
I can't remember how much, but then the food is so much better, and you don't have to
mm.
queue up. If you don't pay this
Yeah,
extra,
yeah.
you go to a different dining room and you got to queue up for
Mm,
your food. But with the extra that
mm,
you pay, you go to the VIP room and you get served. In fact,
mm,
it's a buffet style. You just help yourself to the food, and
mm,
they come
mm,
and serve you coffee and tea and drinks.
mm, mm.
Yeah, very nice.
So, for the cruise ship, yeah, most of the activities to appreciate the views
Yeah,
on the
they have a
yeah.
few activities organized for you. Like maybe they have one singing, people are singing. Another one, maybe there's a theater, a movie. Another night, there'll be other activities. And also at the
Mm,
various stops, they will allow you to go down. And sometimes
mm,
it's free to see a site. Other
mm,
times you have to pay extra to see the site. Like for example, once you reach the dam,
mm.
you
Yeah,
have to pay
the
extra to
three
go to see it.
gorgeous.
Yeah, Three Gorges Dam. You have to pay
Mm,
extra, but it's such an
oh,
amazing sight when
mm,
you go into a smaller boat and you go through the dam. It's really,
mm,
really amazing.
yes. Yeah, someday maybe I will have that
I
kind of
think you
because
enjoy it.
I've never ever been
I don't know
a
whether you
big
like that sort
ship
of thing. Yeah, in the
because to swim. Yeah,
yeah,
and
but you don't need to
it's
worry about that.
sometimes I feel scared.
No,
Yeah, when yeah.
that's the last thing. I think I feel more scared traveling around the whole of China, whereas this one, I feel so secure. I mean, if there's an accident and your boat
Mm,
capsizes, then it's just too bad.
mm,
You just have to accept it. But
mm,
overall, it's very safe. I know that I read a few years ago they did have a boat went over and it killed some
mm,
people
yes.
in Nanjing or in Shanghai or at the to do with the Yangtze River. But
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
happens. Yeah, but
Mm,
when I went, it was so nice, and we were so lucky. And
mm,
if you like that sort of thing, it's good because to me, I love my own company, and I just like going back to my room, sit there, and just feel the quietness and watch the river at night and in the morning, and it's just so peaceful, and it's something that
mm,
you are so at peace. So I really
mm,
love it so much because when I
mm,
was little, I read about the Yangtze River, and it was one of my
mm,
favorite, and I
mm,
didn't know much about it apart from Yangtze River being one of the longest rivers in China, the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. So to
mm,
me, it's stuck in my mind. And to actually see
mm,
it, it's so beautiful,
mm.
amazing
Yeah.
sight. And I just like sitting there. I mean, I could just sit there and write, whatever I want. So whenever I go back to my room, I would just post the pictures that I had taken. So it's really beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, have you posted anymore?
But no, actually, I'm still uh,
Still
producing.
editing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next one. Yeah, editing. Yeah. Because
How about
these days
you're
I'm
busy?
looking for an internship because
Oh,
I'm doing an internship in a company, but I'm considering to change change it to another one.
so
Yeah,
which
so
one are you doing now?
I'm doing in the department of a company. I don't think
Mm,
you know that company.
yeah.
A company which is made some all the smartphone producers.
Oh,
That company is not smartphone producer, but they produce
yeah.
actually make those phones for the for those famous smartphone brands like Huawei
Yeah.
and Xiaomi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
what do you do
design.
there?
mm,
They design the covers or design
Yeah,
what?
no, for my job because I study economy
Yeah.
is in the school, so I I was I'm working in the department of marketing
Yeah.
and strategic
Strategic.
strategy. How
Str-
stra-
yeah, strategy or
strategy?
strategic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shanghai.
yes, strategy and marketing department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah.
but I, I I've done I've done that internship for like nearly a month, but I found it is not suitable
Mm.
for me. Yes, kind of boring.
Yeah. So can you easily
Yes,
find another one?
actually, I found internship in a financial institution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called like the bonds or stocks. Yeah, you do the
Yeah.
analysis. There'll
Yeah.
be there's a analysis department for any
Yeah.
financial uh, financial financial institutions,
Yeah.
like the security. Yeah,
Mm.
they, and mm, and actually I got the offer,
Yeah.
but I didn't resign or something.
From the
Didn't
first company.
finish. Yeah, I didn't leave the first company, so I'm considering to leave the first company and go for the next one.
So every day you have to go to
Mm.
work.
No, actually, for the first one, which is I'm doing now,
Uh,
yeah, I would go 3 times in a week,
oh, yeah.
and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and
Yeah.
ends at 6 o'clock, yeah, in the
Oh,
afternoon. But the commuting time is so
it's a lot.
long.
Yeah.
I have to spend an hour, yeah,
Oh,
for 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 the trip to
yeah.
go to the company and another hour to come back.
Yeah.
So for the second one, I asked the HR whether I can um, do the internship from home, something like that,
Yeah.
from the dormitory, and that that company said, yeah, you can do that, but
Oh,
you
that's
should
good.
go to the company first
Yeah.
for
Induction.
some time, yeah.
Yeah.
After you, you get familiar with the work they assign to
You can
you, so
carry
you
on at
can
home. Yeah.
work, yeah, work from home. Oh, not actually at home, work from
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
your school.
That's good. So how long would you do that for? A couple of months?
Yes, it depends on you because the company wants you to to do as long as possible because
Oh,
because for the salary for the internship is
Very
so little,
low.
very low, and many companies actually how should that have lots of internship
Yeah,
students, you know,
yeah,
as internship, yeah, because they want to,
yeah. It's cheap
slash
labor.
their costs, yeah.
Yeah. So actually, with this going on, you won't have much time to do the editing and posting.
Mm, so that's why I said I will upload like
When you're
2
free.
videos a week,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
because if you upload a video every day, yeah, that's
You don't have time.
too
Yeah.
time
Mm,
consuming, yeah.
yeah. So now on TikTok and on
Mhm.
this one, are there people
Mhm.
viewing it?
Yes, because I, I have uploaded a video that I think I sent to you,
Yeah, yeah.
that one,
Mm,
and there are some people have seen it,
yeah.
and you've got 3 or 4 more fans. I think now you have 40 or 50 fans in total.
Yeah. How about the TikTok?
No, the TikTok, because I think I uploaded all the videos that you sent to me, because for TikTok, as I said, it's the
Yeah, it's
platform
very
for
short. Yeah.
short videos, yeah,
Mm,
short videos, and especially for the vertical, short
yeah.
videos, and because and all the videos on that platform that I sent for you is about your grandson,
Yeah, yeah.
and so mm, but there's no more videos.
Mm,
I yeah, so I cannot
yeah.
upload anymore on
Okay.
that platform.
Okay. So with the book,
Mhm.
you don't think we should load it up. Just wait until I finish writing and then get an ebook.
I think every time you've every how say that, if you finish a
Uh-huh.
chapter, and I
Yeah.
will help you edit
Yeah.
and edit the format for
Yeah.
your writing,
Mm.
and
And
maybe
how
I will
about,
find some platform
and do
to
you think I
upload it.
should
Yeah.
give you a couple of pictures to go with it? Like Chandu,
Yes.
just
Yes.
bring a few
Mm,
pictures.
mm. Yes.
Yeah.
You can choose some related pictures
Yeah.
that
Okay.
uh, I
You
sent
can do
them
it
to
like
me.
if I finish writing like from a chapter like Chandu, then maybe
Mm,
in the weekend, if you are free, then you can look
mm,
at it and look at the pictures I
mm,
send you and choose
yeah.
the ones relating to it and see if you
Mm,
can find a platform to upload the first chapter.
mm, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can. And I can also translate it first.
Yeah, that's right.
But you should tell me.
Uh,
You should tell me. Uh, which how's it that the because you will send me some
so
pictures,
many.
but you should describe that picture, because I don't know
Yeah, yeah,
who they are, yeah, in the
yeah.
picture.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's nearly
so
12.
I free tomorrow, so we
Yeah,
can still
carry on.
talk tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. So tomorrow you have to go to work?
Mm. Oh, actually, I think from Monday to Wednesday, I will go to work, but it doesn't matter because the time we talk is
Yeah, it's
in the
late.
evening. So
Mm, okay. Yeah,
usually I work three times in a week. Yeah,
yeah.
so, yeah, from Monday to Wednesday.
Okay. Okay.
Mm. Okay, so then see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow then. Thank you so much.
Mm. You're welcome. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Bye.